Anna Smith here. I'm with Savannah DeMelo. Siv, how are you?
Doing good. Glad to be doing this with you.
I'm so excited to see you and talk to you and just see what's going on over in Louisville. Siv has informed me that it's Louisville, not Louisville. So
Or Louisville.
Louisville, that's wrong too. So Louisville. We're going to start off with an easy one. How have you grown as a player from when you first got drafted in 2022?
Oh man, I feel like that was like forever ago. I haven't been to college in forever, but I think I've changed a lot. Coming into my rookie year, I think I just wanted to learn as much as I could, and from the get-go, I think my role changed. I started playing a lot more minutes, and I think the demand of having to adjust to the league was like a lot quicker than I expected, and I think it just made me grow a lot. The speed, the like physicality of it all, the amount of touches I took. So I think I've just grown tremendously, like on and off the field. But I had a lot of great older players to learn from, which helped me a lot.
Good, that's awesome. And as you grow and as the league continues to grow, you've got schedules and things that are great changes and you're getting more time on TV and things like that. But it's good that the league is finally starting to support you guys to be able to do all of that. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, especially I think the league has just grown so much. You see it in the NWSL in Europe. I think there's just so much more support behind women in the women's game, and it's just going to take us and like to the next level.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've had previous senior team call-ups in 2022, and we love to see that. What are your individual goals with the U.S. Women's National Team?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's hard. Being like at the club environment, you just want to kind of give everything to your club while also knowing that national team is like in reach. So, as hard as it is, I'm trying to focus with my club. And if the national team stuff happens, it happens. But I mean, it'd be great to get go to a World Cup. It'd be great to after the World Cup, if that doesn't happen, just get some call ups and get more experience at that level because I think it would just change my game and bring me to the next level. But yeah, that's some individual goals. But at the end of the day, I'm like my priority is the club. So I'm just trying to focus and keep my head with them.
Absolutely. I think that's important too, and that'll pay off in the long run, and you'll
Yeah.
just keep performing and killing it like you are, and it's so fun to watch. Building off that, you've had some game-changing moments for Louisville this season. What has been your favorite so far?
Um, Probably so you obviously know like my outside the foot goal
Mhm.
was a pretty fun one. In college, I mean, I used to use the outside of my foot all the time, and Kadani and Jason, our old college coaches, used to always like get on me. But I think that was my favorite goal, just because it was very different, but it's also very like me to do because I like to use the outside of my foot. So probably that one or the OL ring goal was pretty cool. I think it just showed like how much our team has grown, and I think going 2 goals up against a top team in the league with like the best players in the world was a pretty cool moment. So I would say those two.
And again, having those moments with your team that you know all the work you're putting in off the field is paying off, and even getting to celebrate with your team. I know you've had some iconic celebrations that we've seen, and
Yeah.
yeah, those are the moments that make it worth it. And that's so funny that you said that about Jason, because in my head when you just said that, I was hearing Jason yelling, "DeMelo, use your
Yeah. Use your left. Yeah.
I
No,
know.
they actually Kadani texted me. He was like, I think that might have been my favorite goal. I was like, oh yeah, I bet it was.
Oh, that's so funny.
But what you were saying about like just celebrating with my team, I feel like we are a really new team and like a really young team. So the fact that we're, I think, putting pieces together like we are is just huge. And we've had great add-ons to the team this year. So I think it's just showing like how much we've improved and how much we're going to keep improving.
Oh, awesome. I love to hear that. You always love to hear good team culture and when things are starting to click off the field. That leads well into my next question, actually. What do you guys do? What does training look like? What does team bonding exercises? What does that look like for you over in Louisville?
Yeah, I feel like we have a very unique setup. I mean, our facility is like we live right down the street from our facility. We all live in the same apartment complex. Well, most of us do. So I mean, we're at our facility from like 8 to 2 p.m., 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. every day. So we do spend a lot of time together, but it's not just always training. Like we eat breakfast together, we have lunch together. We all do stuff outside of the facility together because we do live in a smaller city, but it's still like a city. So I think, yeah, we just have great team chemistry. We are really like a small family. And I think that's something that we really rely or like lean on in the games, because I know like the girls around me are just going to work just as hard as me. And it just kind of gives you that little bit of extra motivation. And that only happens from like chemistry off the field.
Absolutely. And again, makes those moments of success so much sweeter. And the moments of difficulty, it makes it easier to work through with each other when you're closer and you have those connections.
We really like lean on each other a lot, and we have so many conversations and like the hard conversations. But I think because the relationships are so, we have such good relationships, we know those talks are only coming from a good place.
And that leads us again perfectly into our next question. Who is a player in training that you kind of look to and you say, oh, I got to do better? They inspire you. They kind of push you to be the best version of yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have like a lot of great leaders. I mean, obviously Abby and Carson coming in, Abby Ursik, Carson Pickett have been huge. But since the beginning, it's been Lauren Millay. She's literally someone that pushes me like every single day, and someone that right when I got here was a player I tried to like mirror as how I played. I think she's great on the ball. She's a midfielder, but she plays outside back right now, and I think that's just incredibly hard to do in this league. But yeah, she's just like a perfect example of like a player that works hard, puts her head down, does what she needs to do, but is also just extremely smart in her ways and knows the game better than I think anyone I know. So definitely her. But like I said, I have Carson, Abby, like Lo, Jay is also a great leader, and she's so young. Just so many of those players, Nadia, Nadim, who's on my team, who I literally is like a sister to me that I rely on a lot. So we just have a lot of those older players that really are like put an arm around you and help all the rookies.
I love that. I love that answer because, I ask it and I assume you're just going to say one, but the fact that you named off so many people says a lot about your team and a lot about the culture that you guys have built over there. That's amazing.
Yeah. And it's funny because everyone is so different on how like they kind of give information. Like Nadia is like on the field is like works hard. Like you want to kind of mirror that just because of how she plays, but also she's a great leader off the field. Abby and Carson just have so much knowledge because of how long they've been on the league. And Lo is just overall like a well-rounded person who like is just great on the ball off. You know what I mean? So it's just all have such different qualities, but like trying to learn each of those qualities.
For sure. You have always been one of my favorite players to watch, and you are so crafty and just so skillful on the ball, and you see patterns and you see spaces that none of us would see, and then you see them and make a big play. So how do you feel that your style of play has fit into the team this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think something that I've like taken from college to the pros is just like my ability to dribble. And I think somewhere I've wanted to always get better at was dribbling, but not always having to dribble, maybe dribbling and then passing it earlier than like before I get like someone close to, you know what I mean? So I think I've really brought my dribbling to this team, but also the fact that I'm able to dribble, pass, then get it back, I think is something I've added. But yeah, definitely I think it's the dribbling and the getting out of pressure and wanting to attack all the time. And yeah.
Awesome. I'd love to see that. And that also, again, goes back to being comfortable enough to try these new things and communicate with those around you and just kind of play off those around you. And it works and it's clicking and it's fun to watch. Can you describe Jaelin Howell as a player in one word?
Ooh. I don't know if this is not one word, but she's like the workhorse, I think, of the midfield. We played together since we were like, I don't even like 16, 17. And she's like the perfect 6 to like my 10. Like I'm the attacking mid, she's a defensive mid. And I just feel like so comfortable and like free to go attack because I know she has my back defensively. So she is like the workhorse of the midfield, I would say. That's like I know it's 2 words, but workhorse is the word I would describe.
It works. We can hyphen it. That also could be a good Valentine's Day card. You're the 6 to my 10.
That's what I always tell her. I'm like, you are like the perfect 6 to my 10. She's like, oh, that's kind of sweet. I'm like, it's true. And we've always played against them at Florida State. And here have always been like gone against each other. So it's fun to finally play with that person that like that. So
Yeah, no, she was a pain in the butt at Florida State. She was so hard to defend.
yes, she was.
What is your favorite stadium to play in?
Ooh. Probably the Angel City one, like the one in LA.
Mhm.
That one, I just think it shows, like we were saying, how much the game has grown. Like the stadium is always packed. Like, and it's such a fun environment to play in. And obviously it's home for me.
Mhm.
So a lot of my family is always there. But yeah, I just think it shows how much the game is growing and how much support they put behind women's soccer. And it's just awesome. And field's nice, atmosphere's great. And obviously it's nice to go home and see everybody.
Oh yeah, you're a Cali girl at heart.
Cali girl, can't forget that.
You can take the girl out of Cali, but you can't take Cali out of the girl.
And Hawaii. Don't forget Hawaii.
Okay. The no, it's amazing to see what they've done, and it's really cool to see and inspiring to see. Oh, go
I
ahead.
think they have a game today,
Mhm.
and it's a Monday, and it's like my parents are going, and they said it's supposed to be like almost sold out.
Mhm.
So I just think that's like so cool and like how much they're growing and being into the sport.
Last question. Who is the best player you've ever played with? And you can't say me.
That was gonna be my answer, actually.
Shoot, sorry, did I take your answer?
You took my answer, but it's okay. Let me think about the other one really quick. Ooh, played with?
Mm-hmm.
I would have to say, so because I would say like because I went to camp obviously and I played with like Rose Lavelle, and that's a player I've always like wanted to mirror on how I play, like how I play like. So
Mhm.
playing with her was awesome, but I didn't really play with her that much. So it would have to be Soph Smith. It'd probably be Soph Smith because me and her like played on our 20s together and we just really had a good connection. And yeah, so I really like playing with her, and a forward that dynamic is so fun to play with as a 10. So yeah, she's awesome. So I would say her or like Jaelin or Mal would be like probably my three.
That's a really good answer. When you said Rose Lavelle, I was like instantly thinking in my head, absolutely. She's another one that's so fun to watch.
Yeah, and she just brings such a different like style to the game. Like she's so crafty. She sees spaces like that no one else sees.
Yeah.
And then her left foot is just like insane, shooting wise, all that stuff. So she's great.
Yeah, that's a really, really good one.
Yeah.
But that's amazing. That's all I have for you. And I have really enjoyed sitting and talking to you. I always see you succeeding and doing amazing things. And I just miss you so much. And I'm so happy to see you doing so well.
I know, I was so glad to do this. I miss you so much, but I'm so glad everything's going well for you. This is crazy. You're doing all this stuff now.
Oh, thank you. Stop. Okay, well, enjoy. You're at a coffee shop right now. You love coffee. You've always loved coffee. Yeah. It's only fitting that you're in a coffee shop right now.
Oh yeah, Quills is my spot in Louisville, but we're like sponsored by Heine Bros, so I have to technically say Heine Bros is my spot. So
so this is secret. This is secret.
No, we're at Heine Bros right now. So.
Well, okay. Thank you so much. It was so good to see you.
You too, Anna. See ya.
Bye, Sue.